All right. How do you support your friends who are on the journey? They're not where you are. You're pretty comfortable with where you see yourself, but they are on their journey and they're finding their way. There's a couple things that you can do that's going to make you a good friend to those who are on their way. Number one, be willing to just allow them to be right. Now, what I mean by that is let go of the desire you have to be right or to be the coach so that you validate who you are. Now, I know that can be weird and uncomfortable, especially when you know your friend is struggling. You know that they are off base, but they're on their journey. Now, you have to really get that you used to be there too. And on your journey, someone allowed you to grow, someone allowed you to expand. And if you don't treat your friend that way, allowing them the grace to grow and expand by simply asking more questions, then you're cheating their process and potentially damaging them. Not only are you damaging them, but you're potentially damaging your relationship, because if the superiority complex, like you've got to feel better, is kicking in, then that means you're not operating from your true self. You're operating from the ego state, and the state of the ego that doesn't provide value, one that's looking to puff itself, not protect, puff. And when that's happening, now you're modeling something that they see and they're reflecting on the inside. And believe me, the day is going to come when they wake up and realize that's where you were coming from. And it might cause some separation or conflict. The best thing you can do is allow. Just allow them to be where they are and go out. It's really interesting. Because one thing you can do is this, whether they're right or wrong, is you can say this and actually mean it. From your point of view, I can understand why that would be true. Like, I can see how in your world that would have that kind of an impact. And just really be present with that. That's acknowledging that you're positioning yourself in their shoes as best you can, acting in empathy, to see the world from their point of view. It doesn't have to be right. You just have to be willing to release the need to be right. The second thing that you need to do is you need to not only release, but choose love. Here's what I mean by that. When you choose love, what you're now also saying is you're diving deeper into their world to connect with them. And that's a phrase I like to use. You can either be right or you can be in love. So when they're on their journey, that's one, allowing, right? But on this other side is really just letting it be. Why do you need to be right? Ego, yes, but also that means there's opportunity for growth. And one of the things that you can do is grow with the person on their journey. This idea that you've arrived and they're behind, it's not necessarily linear. It could be like this. It could be plain, right? Frequency here. But that doesn't mean you've mastered everything at their frequency. And so by embracing and joining them on their journey, you can explore in conversations together. It's one of the ways that brings bonding and it connects you, especially if it's somebody you love. If it's someone you love, take the time to get on their level and be with them where they are. Yes, get on their level. I didn't say act out of character. I didn't say have ignorant behavior. I'm saying be with them where they are. Last but not least, this is one of the things my mentors did. Recommend a book or a resource that you journey with them together. My mentors, when they gave it to me, it was simply, hey, here's something you might want to check out in your own time. Or if they were a direct mentor, I need you to read this, write a one-page report, and get back to me next month so we can talk about it. What that did was that opened my mind in a space that prevented arguments or prevented them wasting their time trying to get me to rise in a moment when they knew they couldn't do it. They were willing to let that go. Back to step one. They were willing to let that go, but they put me and gave me resources that could expand my space. And that was wonderful because it expanded my space and allowed me to have deeper, more intellectual conversations with them or more visionary conversations with them about where we're trying to go. The other side of that is to do it with them. Now, in relationships, I've done this many times, and it's helped. It's helped significantly. It's added value to the relationship and brought more love between myself and my partners. And that's this. Read it with them. Go through the resources with them. One of my favorite ones I'll give you as a sample is the book, The Four Agreements. I would read it with my partner. I would read a chapter and then I would reflect on it and what it meant to me in the tone of me, my, and I. I would share what that page or that chapter meant to me. And then I would ask my partner, I'd have her say what that meant to her and her world. She didn't get to blame me for anything. I didn't get to blame her for anything. We just got to listen. It wasn't a time for me to reflect on what her thoughts was. It wasn't a time for her to reflect and comment, shall we say, on what my thoughts were. It was just like, wow, really getting in their world and taking it in. And then she would read the next chapter. She would read the chapter and I would listen to her read. And then she would say what it meant to her. And then I would say what it meant to me. Sometimes it was only a chapter a day. Because the goal wasn't to get through the book. The goal was to elevate the experience, the relationship, the exchange. And when you love someone's in your life that you're wanting to grow with, you want to see grow, what better way to do that than to journey with them? Have empathy. Really get where they are. Allow them to be where they are and know that it's okay and grow with them. Those are the 3 things that you can do. I need you to like, share, subscribe, because there are other people who could use this content. Thank you. I love you. There's one more thing I totally forgot when you're talking about growing with your friends. This one is critical. Be vulnerable. I need you in your leadership. If you're trying to help someone raise their vibration, I need you to be vulnerable with where you are. We live in a world, or at least I lived in a world, where it was always somebody had to be smarter. I want you to come from the angle of just sharing and being vulnerable, showing your weaknesses and how you were able to walk through them. Not that you succeeded per se, but how you were able to walk through them and be willing to end with, but I don't know what's right. I'm still figuring it out. I'm still figuring it out. Why is that important? Because your friends and family, the people you love, they know you haven't figured it out. And your ability, whether they see you up there as figuring it out and mighty or not, your ability to get low and go, I'm still finding my way, creates space. And when there's space, things grow. You don't believe me? Remember, let's take, for example, a plant. If a plant is in a pot and it begins to expand, its roots begin to expand, and it reaches the capacity of the small pot, it could potentially start to die. So what do? We take it out of that, we get some fresh soil, we put it in a bigger pot so that it has room to expand. You, as a support, as a friend, modeling what the expansion process looks like and that you haven't arrived, because technically we're all one, creates space for your growth and for their growth. That, my friends, is what bonds people together, especially when you're talking about people you love. The way to go deeper is to open yourself about where you are and journey with them. Let them know I haven't figured it out. And the rest is nothing but love and history. Comment below. Tell me what you think. Do you need some more insight? How have you been able to do that in the past? And what was the difference that it made? Somebody's going to read that and they're going to grow and their relationships are going to deepen. And that, my friends, is how we're going to change the world. That's how we're going to raise consciousness. That's how we are going to be the difference on this planet. Deuces. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff so we can continue to expand this vibration. This is Marquise. Peace.